you could change any choice you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of the Inspired Choices Show, business optimization expert, Christine McIver.
I guess he's talking about me. Hey, everybody, how are you? What is going on in your world? There is a lot going on in my world, and I can't wait to share this with all of you tonight. It's really funny. Has anybody ever heard about art mimicking life or vice versa? Well, that's what I'm going to be sharing about tonight, how this has actually occurred. And in my life, most especially even today. And this is not unusual when I've done a show or when other hosts have done shows, is where we find ourselves in the midst of creating what it is we're going to be talking about in our shows. It's annoying and it's quite funny. Well, I can now find the laughter and the humor in it. So I hope you can as well. So everyone, thank you for joining me tonight. I am your host, Christine McIver. I am the host of the Inspired Choices Show, and we are hosted on the Inspired Choices Network. I am a business optimization expert. I work with entrepreneurs and I work with business owners, small and large businesses, supporting them to really create ease and pleasure in their businesses and taking their businesses out of the crazy spaces. Tonight, we are going to be talking about how to manage business when hope seems lost. I'm also the CEO of the Inspired Choices Network, which is the second business in my business portfolio. And I've got a lot of things I want to share with you tonight. And I've got a lot of questions. So if you're listening live, it is Wednesday, September the 13th, 2023 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love for you to come on over to theinspiredchoicesnetwork.com /chat room and join us in there, because I'm going to be asking questions, and your participation in these questions would really be a huge contribution to what I really want to share tonight. So, hope. What is hope? What is it that we really grasp onto when we think of the word hope? I am going to just grab the original or the etymology of the word hope. And of course, it's not coming up quickly. This is just so funny. All right, 1 second, because I'm curious. I didn't look this up before. I apologize. Okay, so the etymology of the word hope is it's a verb. And it's to have hope for salvation and mercy, trust in God's word, to have trust, have confidence, assume confidentiality or trust. And it's a word of unknown origin. So interesting. And it also goes on to say in the 13th century, to wish for, hoping, to hope against hope. Have you ever struggled with feeling hopeless in your business or feeling hopeless in your life? Have you had moments of feeling hopeless or feeling like I'm losing hope? I'm losing hope for what I want to do. A lot of people in business, definitely businesses have their ebbs and flow. There's times when it feels so exciting, and there's times when it feels like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, and I'm so excited about what I'm creating. And then in a blink of an eye, things can shift so quickly, and then you go into, what is this? What's happening? And you start to feel like there is no hope, or you're feeling like it feels like the hope is lost. I know that I have been there, And I know that many, many business owners have been there as well. So the first thing I want you to remember is when you find yourself in that space, in that energy, in those feelings, you are not alone. You are not alone. You're not the first entrepreneur to experience this. You will not be the last entrepreneur to experience this. It may not be even the last time that you will experience this. So right there, I want you to acknowledge that you are not alone. Feeling like all hope is lost is a human experience. And I think that oftentimes when we come to that space, we are lost in thinking that we shouldn't be there. And yet, when we're in those, deep valleys, we are oftentimes forgetting that everything is continuously in motion. And so when you start to go down what seems like a dark hole, you're going through something, and the next evolution is to rise up out of that. You came here, this is my belief system, is that you came here to evolve, to not only evolve who you are, but also to help humanity evolve. And how do we do that if not through change? And as we go through change, and change can be very, very challenging at times, it can feel hopeless. But feeling is a human experience. It's not a spiritual experience. Feeling, if you know anything about the an emotional chart, the emotions that we as humans experience, the highest emotion on that evolutional chart is hope. When you have hope, you are vibrating at the highest energy that you possibly can. But for you to maintain that evolution, or maintain that energy of hope, for you to stay there for any really extended period of time, you will have evolved enough that your human experience is in this lifetime is likely complete. Because as I already said, to evolve is to change, and you came here to evolve. I believe that we complete our time here when we have kind of checked off the boxes that we came here to complete, when we are in that very high vibrational space and we stay there for an extended period of time. We've completed what we've needed to complete at this time. So whether you believe this or not, just check in with yourself. Just ask yourself, does this feel true for me? In order for you to evolve, again, change has to occur. And in order for change has to occur, you have to go through an expansion. Like if you were lifting weights, your muscles would need to expand in order to strengthen and you to be able to lift that next heavy weight, right? And you have to work up to that. And so through any challenging times, you're not going to feel that high vibration of hope. Now, the lowest energy that we have on that energy scale is suicide. That's complete hopelessness. We feel like there's nothing left, and then we choose to leave. For the record, I don't believe that suicide is a wrongness. I don't believe that it is something people do out of selfishness. I believe that we get to a space where we need a break. We need to take a timeout. And sometimes that timeout may be a nap. And sometimes that timeout may mean that we need to leave our bodies and take a deeper, deeper rest. But that is the full spectrum of the emotional scale. Now, when you are moving up the emotional scale out of feeling in that space, and I have been there where I thought that I wanted to leave my body. I was experiencing an emotional feeling, which is a human experience. Again, I was feeling an emotional experience where I felt like that was it, that there was nothing left to feel hopeful about. I didn't see the light. I wasn't experiencing the possibilities. I was in that very deep space. Well, when you start to move up the emotional scale from that deep hopelessness, you start to move up into sadness. And then one of the next evolutions is anger. And anger can come to boredom and so on. And this continues to go up until you reach hope. Now, to feel hope is to believe in oneself and to believe that there are possibilities out there. So I want to ask you, very first thing is, what do you believe about yourself? Because here's the thing, when you are in business, whether you are a small business, whether you're a large business, and excuse me while my nose is itchy, which happens a lot during the show as I'm receiving information, what you believe about yourself can have a great deal of impact on your business and your experience of your business. The two are so deeply connected that as you are experiencing change, as you are experiencing challenge, as you are experiencing frustration, any emotion that you are experiencing, your business can start to reflect that back to you. Our businesses are like a mirror, honestly. If you can see that, if you can see where your business is today, without judgment or attachment to your awareness, look at where your business is today and ask yourself, if you were just to say, here's my business is this, right? My business is slow. I'm just going to use all sorts of different words. My business is slow. My business is thriving. My business is chugging along. My business is suffering. My business feels like it's failing. My business, all of those things, whatever those positive or negative, which are judgmental terms. How much are you judging yourself in this moment? How much of what you're seeing in your business is what you are feeling within yourself? Just start to become aware of that. You have so much more power, so much more potency when it comes to your business than you can ever imagine. And this is what I really want to teach you and share with you tonight. We're going to go for our business break in just a moment, but I want to share with you today, it was so interesting. We are in some interesting energies right now. There's a lot of different things going on planetarily. And we, of course, whether we're aware of it or not, we are experiencing the changes that are going on in the galaxies. And today my neck was bothering me. And so I decided I was going to change things up here in my office. And I had tried previously having a standing desk. It wasn't working great. And changing out the standing desk for sitting was complicated. I don't have a big enough desk. There's a lot of different pieces to it. So today I said, okay, I've got to try this again. I have a secondary desk, so I was going to put the standing desk on the secondary desk. I have 2 display units. They're 27 inches big. And in trying to do this today, they need to be connected. And there was not enough cord in order for me to put the second display on the standing desk and utilize that when I needed to. So I went through probably 2 hours looking online to get the right connection cord. I finally discovered one after making a call to Apple and making another call to another facility. I found one where I could go drive to, went to my chiropractor appointment, and then I went to this location and having a conversation with this person in person, this gentleman who was, I'm going to say a little sharp with me. And I experienced a little bit of judgment. I think it might have been a little bit of ageism. It might have been a little bit of sexism. And I come home and, just want to get this set up. I've spent so many hours on this today. It wasn't in the plan. It wasn't on the mark planner to do this today. And yet my body felt like it really wanted me to do this. And so I get the cord out that I've purchased and it doesn't work. Oh my gosh. Now, what you'll maybe know about me at this point is I'm very persistent. I do not give up easily. And I knew, yes, my friend is in the chat room going, seriously? Yes, after all this. And it was driving out of my way and all sorts of things. And I just kept looking at the cords. It was very interesting. So one of the things that I've really become aware of is that my body communicates with me without, it's just very subtle the way that my body communicates with me. And I found myself, I can observe myself in doing things. And I found myself just sitting here looking at the cords. I just kept looking at the cords, just kept looking at the cords. And what came to me was, there's another possibility. There is another possibility. I don't know what it is, but I know there's another possibility. So I made another phone call. I made another phone call back to Apple. I got someone else. I explained it again. This is about the fourth time today that I explained what I needed to do. And this individual asked a couple additional questions. And then he said, I know what you need. And he explained it to me. He showed it to me. And so then I was trying to drive to a location to pick it up before tonight's show. That wasn't possible. There was nothing within, an hour's drive of my place. So I was like, okay, I'm going to let it go. I've ordered it. It'll be delivered tomorrow. But what was interesting is, and this is what I was starting to say at the beginning of the show, was how life or art was mimicking life, is that it was a super frustrating day. It was a super frustrating day. And I could feel the energy of frustration coming in, and I could feel the energy of feeling like I wanted to give up, which is an old energy. It's an old, a very, very old pattern that is in the cells of my body that I have to be aware of. I have to be awake to it. So that's something I want you to be aware of as well. If you have had experiences of feeling hopeless in the past, those energies are still in your body. So you can still be dancing with them, and your body can be giving you information, as in, when you feel like this is what's occurring, hopelessness. So I needed to be very aware of this. And I am very aware of this when this comes in. So here I am about an hour and a half ago, feeling frustrated, feeling like it was a long day. I didn't get nearly as much accomplished as I desired to. And I do keep my calendar pretty packed on my expectations of what I'd like to accomplish, because I have big desires. And so it was like, okay, I can see what's going on. I can feel the energy of feeling hopeless coming in. Stop. So I communicate with myself, okay, stop. Ask yourself this question. When the energy of hopeless comes in, ask yourself, is it really true? Are things truly hopeless? That is a question that is so helpful when you're looking at what's going on for you, because oftentimes when you can be a little separate from what you're experiencing and just be a little bit more in observation, the truth can start to come through. It's not entirely hopeless. You may feel 75% hopeless, and that's okay. Your feelings and your emotions are not wrong. But ask yourself the question, is it really true? Is everything really hopeless? Then the next thing to do is take a break, walk away, step away from where you are, because what you want to do is you want to start to shift the energies, right? When you start to shift the energy, you start to imagine like the clouds are starting to separate. Things are getting clearer. You need more clarity. All hope is not lost. And I'm going to tell you why I know that after the next break. So you're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. Yes, I'm Christine here on the Inspired Choices show on the Inspired Choices Network. And tonight we're talking about how to manage business when hope seems lost. So how many of you have ever experiencing feeling like hope is lost in your business? How many of you? I would assume that if you're listening to this show, you've experienced it at some time and maybe wanted to give up. You know, there is, what I know for sure is that more than 50% of businesses end within the first year of being in business. And one of the reasons that is because we haven't taken formal training of being in our own business. Now, we've maybe taken business courses and we've maybe even have a diploma in business, but to have a university degree, a college degree, to even have an MBA in business does not guarantee that you're going to be successful in business. What really comes down to it, education is only a small piece of the success that's going to be the telltale of your success in business. One of the biggest pieces that's going to be your telltale in business is your belief systems. What it is that you've already programmed into your mind, into your thoughts, things that drive you forward every single solitary day. We all have beliefs. You know, there'll be some people that will say, oh my gosh, 2 really bad things happen. That means for sure there's going to be something terrible happen. There's going to be a third one because everything comes in threes. Bad things always come in threes. Okay. That's a belief system. And what is a belief system? A belief system is just a thought that you keep thinking over and over and over again. And when we are in that space of thinking about something over and over again, we are looking for the evidence of it. Now, why is it that when we are looking for the evidence of it, that it shows up? Why is that? Anybody know? One of the biggest reasons that it shows up is because you are putting out the signal, the energetic vibration, and you are saying, I am looking for another terrible thing to happen. You are basically placing an order with the universe. You are. That's the energy that you are being. And the thing that we absolutely know is that the energy is going to be matched 100%. And when the energy is going to be matched, you're going to get what you're asking for. And when that is happening, you can't change it so much in the moment. But what you can do is you can start to become aware. Become aware. One of the greatest things, and I can't say this enough, one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself, for your peace of mind, and for your business is for you to continue to evolve and become aware of where you are at. If you are in a terrible place, can you step back from that and go, wow, look at, like I was today, look at, I'm really frustrated. Look at what's going on. I'm frustrated and I'm angry that I have not been able to resolve this technical problem, which, by the way, guys, as my friend Karen said, I'm really good with tech. This is not the norm for me to not be able to solve something quickly. So my frustration elevated. And on top of that, the frustration that I did not get as much done as I wanted to get done. So my frustration elevated and elevated. But then I became aware. Oh, wow, look at me. I'm very frustrated. And within my mind, I think, okay, Christine, what does frustration do to you? Well, for me, it gives me a headache and sometimes a neck ache. Hence, I needed to go to the chiropractor today. Sometimes it will affect different parts of my body where there will be pain or things won't function as well as they should. So I have become acutely aware when I am in the space of frustration. Oh, look, what are you creating now, Christine? You're frustrated. So that's what's occurring in the body and in my heart and in my mind. But what is occurring now in my emotions? What is occurring in the space and place of my business, right? Because when things are being matched, what am I putting out there? When I am frustrated, what am I putting out? I am saying, yo, universe, hey, can you deliver some more of this frustration? Because I'm agreeing and aligning with the frustration. Here's a really wonderful thing, that when you are willing to go into your space of awareness, you can become aware, I'm in this space and I have choice. I can change this. Well, if you are in a space of feeling like you have lost hope in your business, you have a belief system that's adding to that experience, that feeling that you are experiencing, right? The beliefs create the feelings. The feelings don't create the beliefs, right? So we get a thought, we keep thinking the thought, we start to have a belief, oh, that thought must be real, that thought must be real. And we start to get a feeling, and then we feel hopeless. And then we allow that hopelessness to grow, right? To grow like a blooming balloon. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it is going out to the universe. You're so powerful. If you have been in a space of feeling like you have created so much chaos or frustration in your business, please know that you, and don't shoot the messenger, but you've created this. You are so powerful that you have created this. And if you are powerful enough to create a negative energy, and by the way, negative energies are very heavy. So when you think of sadness, you know how heavy that can feel. And when you're joyful and buoyant, that's very buoyant and you feel hopeful, right? When you are creating a negative energy, that's very heavy. It's very dense. It's harder. It takes more energy to create that frustration and anger than it does to create hope and possibilities. So that's why I'm saying you are a very powerful creator. You have been creating and creating and creating. And you have the choice. You have the choice. And I know when you're in that hopeless place. I know when you feel like nothing is going to change, that you're in that incredibly difficult space, that it's so hard to see out of that. I know that because I've been there. I have absolutely been there. I've been in my own business for 15 years. I've been in different businesses even before that. I worked in the business field. I've experienced this on many, many levels. And each and every time I've started to learn more and more and more about myself and what I am being and doing that is actually creating a lot of this. The wonderful thing that I've also learned is that when we are in our own space, so a lot of people are probably listening from their home office and maybe they're solopreneurs, right? A lot of you I know that listen to me are. And so you are in your own space, you're in your own business, and you've kind of got just like think of it like an office, like, a regular 12 by 12 room, and maybe it takes up all the space in your mind. And you keep coming into the same room, the same space, the same experience. You go online and you're connected with the same people and you're seeing a lot of the same information, a lot of the same people saying a lot of the same things again and again and again. And you're in this repeat, and you're lost in nearly stagnant or stale energies, right? You making a choice to change things, to change your connection, to change your energy, even to change up your office and move things around can start to shift things. I had a wonderful conversation yesterday with a woman who I'd never met before, had no idea what we were going to be talking about. And the way that she saw me as I shared my business and I shared how I did business, I shared my beliefs in business. As I was sharing them, she, very accomplished woman, incredibly accomplished, a number of businesses, quite accomplished and well known in her area of expertise. She said to me, "Wow, I just love that we've connected. You're a powerful woman." And she started to reflect back to me what I hadn't believed in myself to that degree in some time. So by changing my connections, I started to receive information in a more powerful way. Is this making sense? When we are around the same people and we are filling our awareness and our days with the same information, the people saying the same things, it can get stale, it can get heavy. And if we're anywhere unhappy in the day-to-day, we can start to take it into ourselves and things can start to feel very, very heavy. And oftentimes that feeling, that energy that we are being starts to be reflected in our business. Hence the feeling like there's no hope. There's hope. We're losing hope. Sometimes we feel like that's it. So I really wanted to share those two different experiences with you to really set the stage for tonight. And I've got a lot more to share, but you know what? It's time for our next break of the show. So don't go away, please. I love having your participation, and I love to see what you're thinking and what I'm sharing, and even hearing some of your experiences. So be sure to connect with us at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room, and we'll be back right after the show break. Sorry.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to the Inspired Choices Show with your host, Christine McIver. That's me on the Inspired Choices Show here on the Inspired Choices Network. If you are ever feeling like you need support, that you would like to really grow your business, expand your business, and just not sure what steps to take, I would love to connect with you. I have a fabulous package called the Strategic Business Package. I work one-on-one with you directly, where we really create a strategy and we implement that strategy for success for the next 6 months for you. What I find is there are a lot of people that don't even know where the gaps are or what to be looking for. And when you have that support, things can really, really change. You know, that's part of the experience of feeling like you're hopeless when you are in that continuous bubble in your life and in your business, and you're doing the same things and you're trying to push that boulder up the hill and you just can't get any traction. It's oftentimes that you can't see it. You can't see what's going on. And it's absolutely wild. It's absolutely wild that when someone else comes in, and it's not that there's anything wrong with you, that you don't have the ability. Trust me, I absolutely know that. But when somebody else comes in and they can see things on a different perspective and a different scale than you can, they can start to bring hope into your business. You see, when we're in our own business, we're doing the best that we can with the tools that we have. But even somebody that has an MBA in business, until you are in your own business and you start to work that business and you start to do the day-to-day with the business and you start to understand all the mechanisms and the systems and all of the processes that you need to go through, there is so much in business to learn. You don't know who you are going to be, and you don't know your capacities or your capabilities in business in each and every area until you are in it. It is so incredibly naive to think that we can be in our own business without support. It's so incredibly naive. I'm a daughter of an entrepreneur. My father had his own business since before I was born. And he had his own business for probably close to 25 to 30 years. And I remember my mom saying that when he started out, he used to do the men's pays by hand, adding and subtracting and calculating by hand by the light of a candle. Now, that just sounds like we were back in the 1800s. We were not. But my father was probably trying to save some money, turned off the hydro and lit a candle, right? And was trying to do things on the cheap, right? And maybe I shouldn't use the word cheap. But he was trying to do things to try to squeeze those pennies, right? And that was not his mindset that I knew. And that certainly was going on before I was born. But as he evolved, he had an assistant working with him that did his books. And then he hired an accountant that did his books. And then he was able to focus on his area of expertise. He was able to be going out on the jobs and be bidding on jobs and to be working and training his men. It was all men that worked for him, except an assistant in the office was a female. But how many of us are out here trying to learn all the different aspects of our business? We have not gotten training in all areas of our business, right? We don't have the education. And when we don't have the education and we kind of put our oar in the water, we think, okay, well, I'm going to just give it a try and see how I do. And then we get out there and like the waters are pretty choppy and we don't know which direction we're going in. And we end that day with feeling super frustrated. Then we start to take that in. We start to take that in and we start to feel frustration. Frustration is higher than hopelessness on the emotional scale. And we do this day in and day out. And what happens, the human experience is natural that as we feel this frustration again and again, we start to lose the energy. We start to lose the inner motivation to keep going. We are in waters we have no business being in. If you do not know something, if you do not have the education for something, and you are trying to grow your business or have your business survive, and you're out here doing things, trying to learn new things, you're not focusing on your area of expertise. And that's one of the biggest reasons that we begin to feel like all hope is lost. Now, I know when I started out in business, I didn't have the funds coming in to pay for different services. So what I did was I really had a little checkup from the neck up, and I had to say to myself, hey, you need to invest in things. I needed to invest in a computer. When I set up the Inspired Choices Network, I needed to invest in different services in order to have the shows be delivered to all the platforms we deliver to pay for all the different services. We have a switchboard. We needed to have a storage unit. We needed to have an online processing system. We have our own phone app. We're paying for a lot of different things. So all of these systems had to be set up, and I had to invest in them in order to grow the business. Now, I didn't do it from day one, of course not, but you've got to get really clear about when you are in your own business, you are investing in a business. So why do we invest in something? We invest in something so that it will give us a return, that it will add to, be a tool in our business to grow our business, to help us get there. Okay. I think I've said this many times, but my mother used to say, when I would tell her I needed to buy a new computer and it was, $2,000, $2,500, she would gasp at the price of it. She was like, oh my gosh. And I said, Mom, the computer is my backhoe, because my father had a backhoe, and that was one of his main pieces of equipment that he had to purchase. So it's really important that you understand that you need to be investing in things. And as you change your mindset, watch how things start to open up. If you believe that you have to do everything with like very little income, then your belief is that very little income is available. Okay, so if you believe very little income is available, are you open to receiving large amounts of income? What is your belief about money? What is your belief about businesses running smoothly? What is your belief about people wanting to hire you? What is your belief about people wanting to work with you and support you? Your beliefs are driving so much of this, and I don't say this in an unkind way. It really is driving so much of this. And so in the beginning, I started to change my mindset around investing in my business. And I started to look at, okay, what other possibilities are out here? And so I started to ask people that I really appreciated what they did and I saw the value in what they did. I started to ask, was there a possibility that we could trade services? That's where I began. Now you have to be very careful with that. I'm not going to get into that tonight, but that is something that I did. And many of those trade services worked out very, very well. And as I started to do that, and I started to see that it was being a contribution to my business, I started to open up to the possibilities of new contributions coming. And so then new creative ideas came and clients came, and then the cash flow started to come. And then I was able to start investing in other things. Understand, my friends, that there is so many resources in the world. There are so many amazing people. There's so many amazing services out there. And there is so much money in the world that when you are open to it and available for it, and that's one of the shows that we're going to be doing soon, is when you are open and available to that's out there, watch how it starts to change. Watch how it starts to change. As we talked about in the beginning, the word hope is to trust, to have confidence, to assume confidently or trust. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust in your beliefs, or are they actually betraying you? Are your beliefs betraying you? Are your beliefs adding to your life, or are they actually zapping your energy and your hope? Look at that. Before we go to our last break of the show, I want to read an email that I got from Abraham Hicks today. And it was just, I received these, like, again, it's so potent how I receive these. So this is what it said today. You are meant to succeed, and failure should feel bad to you. I would say that failure should feel bad to you for sure. And it does, right? Life is supposed to go well for you. And when it does not, there is something wrong. Allow that to be your beacon. There is something wrong. But what is wrong is not something that is outside of you over which you have no control. What is wrong is within you, and you do have control. And taking control is not difficult to do once you understand the basis of who you are and the basics of the law of attraction and the value of your personal emotional guidance system. Now, if you don't know me, you may think that I made up the entire show based on that email. I did not. I've talked about these various things throughout my career. That is such a poignant email, though, that came in that just brought everything together under one umbrella. And it's so true. You have the control. You have the choice. Put your hand up and ask for support, not from a victim energy, from a I'm open to being vulnerable and I'm open to receiving contributions so that I can grow what is in my heart, what I know is going to be a contribution to the world. Come forth with that determination. Check in on your belief systems. Hold yourself accountable. If you have been filled up with beliefs that do not serve you, it's time to take accountability for all of those beliefs and start to change them. All right, we're up to our last break. Don't go away, my friends. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.
Okay, the show's not over, so don't go away. You know what? Sometimes things happen and it's okay. It's all right. You know what? We all make choices and sometimes they don't work out perfectly. And I think it's quite funny. And my producers are amazing and they are so present. But I'll tell you what happens when you are producing a show that has so much personal invitation for growth. We sometimes can get lost in what's going on. And that happens. It has happened to me. That's happened to every producer on the network. And it's okay. Here's the thing, though. I want you to understand that when things go wrong, like they sometimes will, you can right things. You can turn the curve. You can make it around the bend. It really is within your grasp. It really is a choice that you can make for yourself. If you're tired, rest. Absolutely. Change the energy. Go for a walk. But start to fill yourself up like you would with good air in your home. Fill yourself up with good food in your body. But most of all, fill up your mind and your psyche with things that are going to nourish and grow that. What are you listening to? What books are you listening to? What music are you listening to? Do you marinate in the news that is very rarely great or good or even hopeful? If you're marinating in that, don't be surprised when you come up smelling like crap, right? What are you reading? What are you putting into your mind? What are you ingesting into the future of your life, into the future of your business? Take the time to invest in you. Take the time to invest in your future just with what you are watching, with what you are listening to. Take the time to choose the people that are going to be in your life because you deserve to have positive, beautiful things around you, including friendships that lighten you up, friendships that build you up, friendships that are going to be honest with you and kind simultaneously. There is hope for every business out there, but it really starts with the business owner looking at their environment, looking at what they are choosing and believing, and being willing to say, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to change this. I know it is possible to be successful, and I know that there are people out there that are looking for what I believe is in my heart to bring to the world. That's where I was. That's where I was when I was charging $100 a month for coaching. But I knew that there was something on my heart that wanted to deliver to the world. I knew that there was more that I had to bring to the world. And I kept choosing every single day. I want to invite you to reach out to me. Send me an email. Tell me where you're at. Let's look at what's possible. Even if we just have a 15-minute, 30-minute conversation, we can start to shift the energy. You have the power in every choice that you make every single day. You can begin to change it now, or you can continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You are more powerful than you ever can imagine. You can create what is on your heart, or you can just give up and allow yourself to swing in the wind. Don't do that, please. You came here to help evolve yourself, and by that, evolve the world. We need you. And until next week, my friends, remember, you can always make
Thank you
another
for choosing
choice.
to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.